Sorry, now we're live. Shoot. All right, let me see.
What Hey, what's your Discord name? Of course, there's someone in the Discord group, I think it was last night or this morning maybe, that they were looking for properties. They had buyers. They were looking for properties in a few counties in Ohio. I'm not sure if you're the same person or not, but you might want to hop into the Discord if you're not.
Let me see. Let me see if I
Just see
can.
who's over there asking for that. All right, so what do you want to do with this property here? It looks like the highest sale in the neighborhood is $40,000. This property was purchased 2 years ago for 12 grand. I've got 3 sales here: a 20,000, a 32,000, and a 40,000. So I mean, just on something like this, you'd have to get a lot of contracts to really make it worth your time here. I mean, is this right? These are duplexes being sold for 20 grand. There's a triplex for 40,000.
Let me see. Are you sharing? Do you want to share your screen? So you can
Me,
see?
sure.
Yeah.
Don't mind.
Share that screen so we can see what you're seeing there.
1 second.
Yeah, I don't
All right, so I have 1 flipper in the neighborhood. I mean, there's a bunch of cash buyers here, so that's why I was asking you. Do you know what the seller's looking for? But yeah, here's your comps. I don't even know how many beds or bath it is, but this is just going by sales here with square footage.
Why don't you lower that square footage a bit? I always like to see if there's something that's super small, right, that's sold. You know what I mean? I mean, it only helps you, right? If you got one for 1,200 square feet that's sold for, price, at least gives you some type of, it may not be a comp per se, but it, hopefully can give you something. Okay. So you got smaller stuff.
So I got to understand what our property is because it's listed as an apartment. But that price point, that square footage that you're talking about here, Sean, is going to drop us down to single family.
That's true.
And that's where you're going to see these numbers here from. So
there's Zach. That's what we're looking.
I'm not sure what this is. This could be like an apartment above a building. I'm above like a retail store downstairs. I mean, it could be a general store downstairs and an apartment. I'm not sure what this is here, but so I mean, again, to comp this, I mean, I'd have to pull out.
Yeah, so to be honest, on these, right, Scott, back and let me know if you think I'm wrong, but for apartments and commercial properties like that, I mean, we either need to run it as a flip, right, if you intended to flip it, or you need to run the numbers as if you were going to sell it as a rental. So we have a calculator for that. Unfortunately, I don't believe I can share.
I can stop sharing, but we're going to need more information than just the address.
Exactly. So that's So we would.
Yes, I discussed prices with him. Just would like to see what a good offer would be.
Okay. Well,
tell him to come to closing with $5,000. And yes, I can hear you guys. It's Christian. Okay. It's on Zillow if you'd like to see it. What is this? Photos on Zillow? Okay, let's go see.
Okay. Is it listed? Or from when he bought it? Good old Cleveland. Okay.
I was asking 36, 8 bed, 4 bath. So I mean, even if you're getting $400 a unit, I don't know if you can get that much though.
Yeah, I think. I mean, maybe not.
Remember, you're 2,500 square feet. So this is super small. So this is just like bedrooms and bathrooms here.
That's 1,200 square feet. That's a decent living space.
For 8 bedrooms?
Not for 8 bedrooms. Yeah, it's a lot of a lot of tiny square rooms in there. Okay, so this bad boy needs some work. I mean, obviously you'd have to have some kind of an idea. I mean, to me, it looks like the whole place needs a pretty good once over. It could
You know if it's occupied?
I would think.
Or any of it's occupied?
Yeah, it looks like that may be.
Someone's living there.
Yeah, that may be one of the floors. But you just never can tell, huh? I mean, it may be in the description, right? Okay, this looks like. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Air handling? This thing is complete rehab. Yeah, God knows what's going on down here.
Yeah. Plasters on the wall. It's a 1900 build. I mean, there could be
full rehab.
It could be considerable rehab. And the issue with some of these areas, I'm not sure exactly whose deal we're looking at right now. If is it Christian, yeah. Yeah, Cleveland, some of these markets, there is properties around the areas that require so much rehab that they're basically, I don't want to say worth nothing, because that's not true.
It would cost more than what the neighborhood's worth.
But it would cost more to fix it and get it to the standard of, because in Cleveland, especially within that city limits, I know that, certain counties and cities in there through Cleveland, man, they really, it's not like certain states where, the inspections are light. I mean, they do a pretty hardcore inspection of these properties.
But all these properties here, there's 10 properties here in that price range. I mean,
that's true.
If you can't get this from a steal from the guy, I mean,
yeah. So honestly, an offer for this guy would be probably, a number that would offend him, 5,000 to 12,000 range. I mean, it's that bad. I mean, and if not, he's got to, because the only way someone's taking payments over time is if they didn't have to put a boatload of money into it. And it looks like there's a whole lot of money just to get it, to even be rentable. So I don't know if this is, you could even structure a deal that would make sense for this person. But yeah, with that, and that's the problem with, the areas in certain areas in Cleveland and certain cities, you have so much bad inventory like that. Inventory is low, but not for trashy homes that have, been mismanaged or whatever, beat up. There's always that inventory, right, Scott? I mean, in certain cities, Pittsburgh,
this is the last to go.
Cleveland, Kansas City, certain cities, you're just going to see this type of inventory in certain neighborhoods just be heavily prevalent. And in that case, you have to either, get this at a steal of a deal to make a few thousand on it even. I mean,
he's got to wait in line here. There's all this inventory at his price point. So he's got to wait in line and just hope he gets lucky and someone, picks his to purchase, right? So depending on what the exact neighborhood is, or even the street in the neighborhood, that could be years out from now, or just could be the block that's, being rebuilt right now. So I don't know enough about it. You might want to contact a broker in the area just to get a better idea. Hey, this is my uncle's house. He's got it listed on Zillow. We'll hire you. Just sell it for us. Where would they put it? I mean, this property was listed for $40,000 a year ago. Market's gone nothing but up. And this property is, still can't sell at $36,000 and probably wasn't listed yesterday.
Yeah.
He's got this listed with a broker too. So I don't know what this guy intends to make here. So he's going to pay broker fee. He's going to pay closing.
He'd be looking to walk away with, if he's lucky, $30,000 at that price.
You could offer the guy $15,000 and, 12,000, maybe 10,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
Try to resell it with $2,500 on top of it for you. I mean,
I mean, you would really have to reach out to the broker and get some information in order to really decide what kind of price point you need to be at. But hey, I mean, you would, you can show them how to. I assume you guys know how to Google search that man's name. Oh, it's got the phone number. Look at that, shebang. So, you
could call this guy up and tell him to send you the paperwork. You want to place an offer so you can get it presented to his client and place an offer for $12,000 and, see what happens. If you can get the contract on it, you could probably assign it for 15 grand. You make $2,500, maybe $3,000 for yourself. But this is not scalable for you. I don't know if this is your area, but we can definitely help you out getting virtual. We can help you with leads. We can help you with calling different cities that, for all your hard work. I mean, it's tough to lock up any deal. So I hate to see you get a contract here and then not be able to dispo it because of the pricing. So
yeah, just the area in general.
If we can help you get into a better market, please drop your contact info in the chat, and either myself or Sean will connect with you later.
For sure.
But all right, do you have? I think you mentioned that you had another one we can touch on. Is that right?
Let's see. Zach jumped in. Where did Zach still in here? Zach, you there? Let me see. Oh, he left. Shoot. Did he leave any comments or anything? No? Okay. All right. You helped Dalton out yesterday. Dalton, do you have any follow-up comments or concerns? He may be at work. He's a worker.
All right.
Miss Lokes, and I know you're making a transition. You got the cold call. She told me yesterday she got hired some VA, or she's looking to hire VA. Got the triple line dialer, so she's making moves. Great stuff.
There we go. Which dialer did you go with? Just curious.
I think she went with brain fart. I can see it right now, but I can't think of the name. Mojo.
Okay. Yeah, I used to use Mojo. I liked it for a triple line.
Yeah, and I did go for the triple line. The one thing that I had an extremely long day yesterday and an early start this morning, so if I sound tired, I'm sorry. It's because I am. One thing that had escaped me, I'm embarrassed to admit, is the time difference. The cold calling is like never before 9 a.m. and never after 7 p.m. And with the 10 or 12 hour difference, that means she's working through the middle of the night. And I approached her with that this morning, and she says she's been working nights for about 5 years. So
sure.
She's comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't concern you. I could not work all night.
No, I didn't tell her to work nights. That's what they do. Yeah,
they do. That's pretty normal. Oh, okay.
That's what they do. That's the business. Like a nurse can work at a hospital at night. She has a night shift. They have the night shift. That's it. I don't ask them. I don't care what hours they work. They just need to get the dials in, and that's all.
Okay. Other than that, I've been in constant communication with her and still.
Who'd you find?
Very impressed.
What company did you find?
She's independent.
Oh, okay. So you're working directly with the VA, no manager in between.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
How'd you find her?
I can hear your eyes rolling.
You can.
Because
I've been there. That's yeah. That's all. You spend time and effort training people, and they don't live up to your expectations. And if she's the only one there, and you got to start over again, then it's difficult. But when this is a business and you have a manager, and someone's out sick, but they have other people to make the calls for you. I mean, it's you spend the extra $1 or $2 probably. But all right, I'm glad you took action. And you have someone making the dials for you, so that's awesome. You got a dialer. That's great. Good for you.
Yeah, you guys don't want to hear all this. You are familiar with dialers and whatnot. I specifically went without a management company because I do like the access to independent vendors. I am one. I've been one for 35 years, and I wanted someone that I would be more connected to.
No, I think that's fine. I think that's fine as long as you make the effort to be connected, right? And so that you can, as long as because Scott obviously, like he was saying, in the sense that he doesn't want to manage, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong for you to manage.
Yeah,
them, you know what
I
I'm
have
saying?
more tolerance. Where I was going with that is I have more tolerance for
Mhm.
if she wakes up someday and she doesn't feel good, you know,
Right.
that 4 days we
Oh, they'll
handle.
do that. They'll trust me. They'll do that to you.
They could,
Yeah,
Oh,
they may not,
vacation.
you
Oh,
know,
it's
yeah.
holiday. Still payment. Yeah.
But as far as training, and that's the only thing that I will address, because this is a learning situation for me. I've never used one before.
Sure.
And
I'm so glad you did.
I may
Very good for
be,
you.
yeah, I may be back in a couple months and saying, you know, you guys were right that this probably wasn't the best approach. You know, callers are great, but I'll take that. But
I work
my
with
point was what
yeah.
to Scott said about training. I will not have to train this lady.
Right.
And that was the reason I chose her.
Yeah.
She has been working scripts for 5 years. She's been using Mojo for like 3 or 4 years. She's going to be training me more than I'm going to be training her.
That's
but-
good. Yeah.
I'm just praying that it works. That's all.
Me
I'm
too.
keep
I love
keeping
it.
a good positive attitude.
Got it.
And if it doesn't, you'll figure it out. You're not going to get stuck there.
Exactly.
So that's great. I'm so proud of you, really.
And that's a good point. You know, I'm not stuck with her if she's independent. You
No.
don't have to go through a management
Stuck with
company to
anyone.
cancel it.
No.
Yeah. So, This
Expect
is
the
a
worst,
test
hope for the
drive.
best.
yes.
I'm
Okay.
so proud of you. I'm glad you
Good
took
job.
this action. Look how far you've come in just a few days.
True.
Thank
It's
you. And
awesome.
it was all to your first starting, and thank you for that.
Good job, Scott. You're the man. You are. And Lokes for taking action. Great job, both of you.
I'm so
Oh,
Oh,
happy
can
for
I
you.
say something about yesterday when I mentioned,
Mhm.
Scott, you were not here, but I mentioned to the other people who were here,
Right.
was that you had mentioned it to me the day earlier, and I said, he didn't strong arm me, you know, he just suggested it. But I would like to say, you didn't strong arm me, but when you went through my process of copying the number from my call list and pasting it on Google Voice, punching the gray phone to connect, and then punching the red phone to disconnect. I felt like Fred Flintstone, the way you described that.
George Jetson, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was very impressive. I mean, that was probably more impressive than your conversation for me to do it, as you visualized very adequately.
You were hoping there was a better way.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for that.
Oh, you're awesome. Great. I'm so glad for you. I mean, honestly, it dawned on me within 5 minutes of speaking to you. I said, you're too smart to be sitting on disconnected numbers or speaking with people that don't want to sell. So, you know, the better you get at your craft and the more qualified people you're speaking with, then it's just a recipe for success. So,
That's kind. Thank you. Yeah.
be all right. All right. So they're making calls for you now. So I know you made a personal commitment to be on here for the week. I hope as those prospects come in and as you work through them and try to get contracts, if you do need help structuring offers, please, if you don't jump on here next week, I understand you're working, but certainly reach out to us individually if you ever need any help with that. Okay, Lokes?
This will be my first landing spot, because I think it's good when other people can see these deals too. They learn from them. But
Sure.
I have confidence in what you guys are doing here and what you're doing on these calls. And absolutely, if I need help comping or figuring out a bid or even a structure of the job, then absolutely, I'll turn to you guys first.
I got you covered. All right, awesome. Great to hear. Let me try to open it up here. Dalton, I see a message here. Looks like you have something you want advice on here. Yes, we have time. If you, I'm not sure if you're at work or if you could talk or if you just want to drop it in the chat, but sure. We've got time to cover you here. Not a problem. Okay, so I have an address here. I guess what's the issue? What's the question about the property? What are you trying to do?
It's a little loud, but I was gonna type it out, but,
There he is. How are you?
So, good, how are you?
Good to hear from you. Yeah, shoot, go ahead. I'm just pulling the property up. I can listen to you.
Okay, so I got an ARV of like, 202. At first, the seller was asking 60, so I was gonna lock it up, and then, now he's asking 90, because that's tax assessed. And we're looking at probably 60 to 80, maybe 100,000 in rehab. So I don't think if I did 90, it would probably have to be a, creative deal. Just
Okay.
wanted to see what you thought.
So this is a row house.
Yes.
What's the, have you seen the block? What's the street look like?
I walked it on, what's that called? Google Street View. But that's, looked a little rough.
Not personally. Okay. So let's pull that up and jump on street view. So row houses here are tough. Let's see what this neighborhood looks like. Is it right here? Probably not out of picture, right? Huh. I'm gonna have to steal that for a new background image. Who is this guy? Hey, make me an offer, right? You're just hanging out there. Oh, I'm on Redfin actually. Sorry, I don't think I'm sharing my screen with everyone. These aren't as bad as some that I've seen in Philly.
No, it's not horrible. I got one that doesn't have pictures, and it's sold for 90, and I wonder if that one was, a cash deal just not in, as out of position.
Sure. Screen right here. No, this isn't a bad neighborhood by Philly standards at all. I mean, there's some here that, I mean, people couldn't give certain row houses away just because of what the block is and what the neighbors look like, right? You couldn't rehab this house if, these two, this one and this one were tear downs and, it just wouldn't work. So sometimes it's a dead deal just from the whole block. But yeah, this guy looks motivated. Looks like he wants an offer. Or maybe a drug deal. I don't know. He wants to sell something. All right. So you said he was looking for 60. You started talking to him, and then he went to 90.
Yeah, this morning he sent me a text saying that, and he's kind of on the, have a good one. Is how his text sounded, so. Trying to see how I can fix the relationship here, because we built good rapport, it was going great.
What does he plan to do? Does he live in the house now?
Yeah.
Does he have
He
somewhere
wants
to
to
move?
rent somewhere else, so I was like, no, I was gonna help him find a rental.
You want to find the rental? Okay. Was he actively looking to sell, or did you find him?
Yeah, he came to me.
He came to you, pay per click lead or
It was a
something?
PPC.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Did you ask him what he plans to do with the money when he sells, other than just renting a place?
He just said hold it.
And just pocket the cash. Okay.
Mhm.
What happens if he can't sell the property in the next 30 or 60 days? What does that look like for him?
He said he's gonna fix it for 15,000 and sell it for 200.
Okay.
He's a little off on his rehab costs.
Okay. Fix it for 15. So you ran the rehab, you had some interior photos, you were able to determine it would cost about $100,000 in rehab?
Yeah, it's in rough shape. The
Rough,
ceiling's
rough.
missing in half the house. Yeah.
Okay. So
I'd be more than happy to send them the pictures if you want them, if that would help you.
I mean, just in crafting the offer, I mean, I'll jump on here to just to see what the quick comps are. It's a 3-1, 1300. So, I mean, row house. Let's see. So, I mean, as far as comp, without crossing West Fisher, I've got number 1 here, 215. I'd like to have another comp, especially if I have these 85s mixed in here. 69. Those are farther out. I mean, 190 grand, he's way off. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do anything, especially if you're thinking it's the type of rehab that you're talking. I mean, if it really is 100 grand on rehab, even $60,000 is a deal killer here at 200,000 ARV. So let me just determine that a little better. And you got a bunch of flippers in the area too here. But these guys are buying at 63, and they're selling at 95. Okay, purchase price 80. Yeah, they're buying at 80, selling around 121. Flip amount, it's 121 profit. They're selling at 200. So you're not talking much rehab. Average purchase price 63, 158. So they're making 95 a square foot. So on this property here, you get 95 times 1,300, $123,000 if you buy it right. No, it doesn't sound honestly like the seller's motivated enough to sell the property. It sounds like he'll just continue to live there. I mean, if you're telling me there's no way on God's green earth that it's a $15,000 rehab, you know, if you can get him back down to 60 grand, you know, you might have something here. Probably a sign for $10,000, $15,000, but if it needs that amount of rehab that you need, I mean, you're talking a total tear down here on 100 grand. That's a lot of money. You do a full build for that, especially on this size.
It's in real bad shape, so.
Yeah. All right. Ask him, you know, what's the least you'll take for it? You know, I cut you a check. You know, I'll cover closing. There's no broker fees. You know, just try to get him down to that number, honestly. But this would be a cash deal. You reach out to these buyers right here. You can look at these flips right here. So you can go to any one of these flippers, right? You know, if you're looking to disco the deal, you know, you can look up who did the transaction and, you know, just reach out to them. Or maybe you call a few of them, tell them you're working in the area and, you know, ask them what they would pay for, you know, a row house and, you know, just give them the street, you know. Just give them the street name, you know.
Yeah.
Transaction history, yeah. I mean, here's some Affordable Home Groups, Ed Dykes, Affordable Home Group. So whoever this is here, these guys just did the flip. They bought it. They bought it from the city of Philly, right? So they're buying messed up properties.
Check the Facebook group. Or check and see if they have a Facebook. I mean, sometimes they have a Facebook. I mean, obviously.
Here, these guys here, right?
Yeah.
In Philly. Yeah, so I mean, that's what you got to do here, Dalton. These guys are buying properties, you know, but look at where they're buying it here. You know, they did a flip, right? They put the money in and they sold it to a retail buyer, you know? This house is probably all done up.
Okay.
Right, so you could reach out to people like that, say, hey, you know, I'm working on a couple deals in the area, you know, what would you pay for, you know, the 1,500 square foot row house, or, you know, give them the street, you know, you don't have to give them the exact address, but, you know, they'll give you an idea, or, you know, their buy box of what they're willing to, you know, tell them you want a bird dog for them, you know?
Right.
there's definitely buyers in the area. I mean, you got 50 flips, you know? Well, you just gotta be, I think you're gonna have to be lower on the price point, really. You might be okay at that 60 grand, but really you gotta speak to someone that's a little more familiar with the neighborhood. You can start with that broker. You know? But all right, yeah. Anything else? Any others you got to go over? Otherwise, I think we can wrap up the call here today unless someone else has. All right, beautiful.
Scott, Scott, you just joined, right? Whoever you are, Scott.
Yeah.
Hey, I apologize because I thought you were on Scott's phone the whole.
Oh man,
yeah, he's been sitting there for 45 minutes, man. I really apologize. I thought it was Scott Levine, the machine who's running this call. Who I thought he was trying to test something earlier when we were testing something.
Nah, I told you it wasn't, man.
That's why it totally threw me off. And I'm like, man, he's still trying to get in here. And that's when I realized this is clearly a different human being.
Maybe there's a different Scott.
There is a different Scott. He has an iPhone, so it's
so do I.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I tried to copyright the name Scott, but
they just
didn't
couldn't
work.
do
So.
it for you, huh?
Yeah, some other people got it. It's all good.
All right.
Nice to meet you, man. How are you today?
Good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, doing good.
We're doing all right here, I think. What brings you to the call? You need help creating an offer, or do you already have a deal that you wanted to discuss?
I got two good leads. They both want to sell. I want to talk about one of them real quick because she gave me her offer price. It's just unfortunately these are in the outskirts cities in Colorado, so they're difficult. So one of them, the first one where I got her price, it's at 1005 Maple Avenue in Rocky Ford, Colorado.
Okay.
And then let me know if you want me to give you the other address.
You can give them both to me at once. That's fine. And then maybe you can just give me the details overall on what the same seller.
No, this is two different sellers, two different properties.
Okay. So yeah, we could touch this one first. So you said 1005 Maple. Got it.
Mm-hmm. 1005 Maple.
All right. And what's going on with the seller here? What do you said you had a good call with them? What are they trying to do?
Yeah, let me bring up my notes. I use Badge Styler. No notes
Sure.
on this one. All right, so for this one, looks like I looked it up on Zillow. Looks like it's a low priced one. It's for $51,000 and I think $200. She motivation's not the best, but she said she's ready to sell. She literally told me if we meet her at her price, she's ready to do this right now. Motivation is the market. She says it's a good time to sell. I got her price. She says she's ready to sell as is for $40K. Asked her if she can go below that. She's like, yeah, maybe. Asked her, what do you think? She's like, well, I'm not going to give you that number because you might go to that number if I go lower.
Okay. All right. The house needs a lot of work. What's move-in ready? Is vacant, occupied? What do we have over there?
I believe it's vacant.
Vacant. Okay.
The roof does need to be replaced, and she said she would raise her price by $6K because that's how much she said it needs to be replaced. Supposedly, that's what she said, though.
She would raise the price $6,000, and she would do the roof. Is that?
Yeah, she was going to sell it herself because she said the roof needs replaced for $6K. That's how much it's going to cost. But there was no remodeling in the past 5 years to the kitchen or the bathroom.
Okay. All right. So give me a second here. Let's I guess start with a comp, right? Let's see what we're up against, right?
Gotcha.
I have one flip comp in the neighborhood.
This one's a tough.
I mean, these prices are all over the place. We've got one here for $6,500. It's probably a rental. Record reported rental with the county, 35 grand here. Let's see what this person did. This person came here at 31,000. They rehabbed it. We sold it for 130. Gross. So we don't know what they rehabbed it for, but oh, it's not even in the same. Yeah. Nobody moves houses here. What's going on? Quiet neighborhood is right, my man.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Sean can probably see if his buyers would be willing to buy this, if you think he can get her, a little under 40, he could see if they'd be interested in this property at that price point. But otherwise you may want to just hop on Zillow, click on agent finder, and let's just see what's in the neighborhood right now.
It's like there's 10 agent listings in Rocky Ford. But they're all way bigger.
Way bigger. Yeah, I see 14 right now. 210, 350. Right. So this would be the lowest price point property by far.
Nice.
Is this your
lot.
neighborhood? Are you like familiar, boots on the ground, or is this virtual for you?
This one is virtual. I'm in Denver and Denver metro surrounding cities,
Sure.
but this
Not
is
Rocky
definitely
Ford.
out there.
Yeah,
Nah.
I got you, man. I got you. I'm wondering if this is just one of those cases of, are we on the wrong side of the tracks, literally?
I think it's just the lowest, smallest house
Lowest
in
and
the
the
neighborhood.
smallest. These are some huge price points, in comparison to what we were just looking at.
I mean, you said I could pass it along to one of your guys. I'd totally be down to do that.
Yeah, Sean could probably help you with that. At least to
Instantly.
see if that price is viable, right? Because she's just good at 40. If his buyers will take it there or even higher, then you got something, right? You don't even have to beat the seller up too bad. But if they say, that's nuts, no way we could pay that, then you might want to go back and tell the seller that, I brought it to my buyers, I brought it to my check writers, and of the three I showed it to, this is the best offer I have. And that's with me getting paid, right? So the most they're willing to pay is 32,000, and that's with me getting paid, So we'll cover closing. There'll be no fees, no more depreciation, no more taxes, right? We'll take over the property. So what's the best you can do, Right?
How would I? That sounds great. How would I connect with your guys by email or?
Well, Sean's in here right now. Or he was. It looks like there's a planet here. I'll drop you my contact here.
Let's see if I can get in the chat here.
I'll help you more with structuring it if they have a strong dispo network. So if you already have it locked up, they could just help you dispo it. If you still want to create the offer, which kind of sounds like we're still there, and then they could help dispo it. But I was interested to flip it around a little bit just to see if it could be dispoed at that number, really before we even go back to the seller. Because I mean, those houses here, you're off like 10 times the amount, right? She was looking for 40 grand. Their house is almost 400K there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
century,
I'm sure a good talker can get her down to 35.
All right. So that's where that is. Yeah, I don't see any other houses in, now that I'm on Zillow, I don't see anything that's on market in that price point, And there's also nothing on the market for sale by owner either. The only listings, the few that there are agent listings. Let me just see agent finder. Let me see how many agents are over here. pretty good amount of agents though over this area. There's 5 pages on Zillow. So really, if it's a super like rural area, there won't be 5 pages. You know, maybe there'll be 1 or 2 if it's that rural. So there's definitely a handful of brokers here that I'm sure would want the business, you know. So if you can get the contract, it might be a good hotel deal also, right? If you can get the contract at a low enough price point and then just have them put it onto the MLS, you'd make more putting it on the MLS and selling it than you would selling it to another wholesaler or an investor, you know. You can even give a discount, a retail discount, right? So I'm just saying, if retail is 100 grand and you put it out there for 80, that retail buyer is going to be super happy, you know. Whereas a wholesaler or another investor wouldn't even touch that deal, right? Because they need to be in there for 55 at the most, let's say, right? So obviously your margin is going to increase if you can get it, you know, get it sold to the end user, and still be able to compensate the broker if necessary. So it might not be a bad idea to have a couple of conversations with a few brokers here on Zillow. Are you familiar with how to do that?
Actually, I just got a couple of great relationships with agents here in Denver, Colorado, and
Not in Rocky Ford though.
no, I was trying to tell him though, maybe he can just pass it along. Maybe he can just get a referral commission, if anything. Just
Yeah,
have
they're
him pass
licensed
it
in the
along.
states. They can definitely place the offer in for you. They're probably going to have difficulty. I'm not sure how the state works, but pulling it up on MLS, usually the you know, counties will, you know, if you're telling me this Rocky Ford is, you know, hours away from Denver, you know, Denver's going to have its own canopy or MLS that those brokers are able to see. So there might be some disconnect there for you. But yeah, make a new relationship with someone in Rocky Ford. You know, you might get lucky and, you know, hit it off with the first broker that's on there. You know, maybe it just takes you a few to get through. You know, there's
Yeah.
certainly a bunch here. I mean,
You think just cold call him? Just
yeah.
give him
Yeah.
the spew.
Yeah,
Let
hey
him know we're
Tim,
trying to create
you know,
win-wins.
yeah, I'm a buyer. You know, I'm typically a buyer in Denver, right? Prices, you know, are getting crazy, as you know, so I'm expanding my horizons here. You know, I'm looking to work with the broker here in Rocky Point that's, you know, investor friendly and got his head screwed on straight, and can help me put some offers in and help me buy some properties. After I flip them, I'd look to have you list them for me. You know, are you my guy? You know, all right. Let him know you're going to be the easiest buyer that he'll ever have. You know, and hopefully he starts bringing you deals. You know.
That'd be awesome. Definitely.
But if it's a dry market, what it looks like here, I mean, we saw there's only 11 properties up there. He may have buyers for you, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So if he's got a retail buyer, I mean, if he says, "Oh, that street, I'll peg it at $100,000 without walking through it," you know, you can easily pay him a commission, offer some type of discount to retail, get you know, homestead buyer in there. You know, even if you're down there at 40 grand. So that's kind of why I was saying, you know, even maybe before going back to the seller, I might want to do a little more recon and see if Sean or his hedge funds might be interested to take it off your hands, and if so, at what price. And then I would probably do the same thing with you know, I go through a few brokers here, you know.
That'd be great.
You know, the good broker will have a Rolodex of buyers.
Nice. Yeah, Sean can help me with that for sure.
Yeah. All right, so I'm happy to go over the other one with you if you like.
Yeah. All right. So this one, let me just pull this up real quick.
And was she a pay-per-click lead or was she a cold call? How did you find that property? I guess that.
Cold call. I'm a student with Jerry Norton, just like Nathan was at one point. So
Nice.
got a bunch of leads from Flipster. Yeah, actually just ran into
I'm not familiar
5
with Flipster.
deals. Oh no, yeah, it's a great it's a pretty good software, but the list data, I'm not sure if it's the best, but seems to be working out. I just got 5 leads within a week. I had to get through 200 to 400 people, on my list to get to those amazing leads, and they are very good leads, just like these two. I mean, they said
So
they're ready to sell.
100 phone calls gave you 5 real leads, right?
2 to 400 phone calls. I
Okay.
can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Gave me, yeah,
One's a good metric, the other's an amazing metric, right? So if it really
Yeah.
was 200 calls, I mean, that's huge, right? So just say for yourself, if you got one contract out of 100, calls, right? Let's just say out of 10 conversations, right? 100 people, 10 real conversations, you get one real lead out of it, right? It's just a numbers game. So if you're cracking with 5 real ones right here, I mean, one of those would be 20%, right? So if you only got one of that 5, you're saying this week, there's four weeks in the month, so you should get a few deals this month. Good work.
yeah, and a couple of them said they want a full retail price. They literally told me that you're probably not our buyer. I was like, that's cool. I'm totally being okay not being your buyer. I was like, if you're looking for full market value, I totally switched from wholesale to creative deal, and then talked to him about it. Had my creative guys get on the phone with them. We might close one this week.
Beautiful. Great job.
I definitely trying to get in proximity with Pace Morby's students. I grabbed one of his students. I'm like, in a creative deal, I'll just throw it at you.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So now the second deal is at 402 College Street, Trinidad, Colorado. Trinidad seems like a beautiful mountain town.
Similar situation to the first one, or what's going on here?
This one, pull up my notes. She's definitely ready to sell within 30 to 30 days. I asked her if she if everything worked out. She said yes, she would love to sell within 14 or 30 days.
What was the time frame on the first one? I don't think I wrote that down.
Oh, the first one, the time frame, she told me straight up, if the numbers works and we can put something together, she's ready to sign right now, today, literally. That's what she said, literally.
Okay.
But I didn't get an actual time frame.
No
But this
problem.
one I got 40 to 30 days. She'd love to close in 40 to 30 days.
You know what happens to the Rocky Ford if she doesn't sell in the next 30 or 60 days? If she doesn't get a contract today, do you know what happens to her?
I don't, but I asked her that phrase because this market's great. I told her, you ever considered selling with an agent? She's like, yeah, if I have considered it. She said, if an investor can't get to me or make anything work, we'll probably consider it. I was like, okay. So if investor can't get to her, she definitely wants to go with an agent.
Right. So she's got to sell, it sounds like.
Say again? Yeah.
She
It
has to
sounds
sell,
like,
right? Okay. We're
don't know
not
if she
sure
has
on the
to.
why, right? We don't know necessarily what the pain is, but it sounds like if she doesn't sign today, she doesn't sign to an investor, she'll list with an agent. Okay, I got it.
yeah, the only pain I got, I don't know if it's the best, is the market. The market's hot, she says. That's the one. The first one.
That's more gain, not pain. More. What about rehab on that property?
For the first one?
Yeah, how's the condition? Could I move in there tomorrow? Is what needs to be done? It's a turnkey.
I don't know why I didn't write this down, but I know I asked her. Roof needs to be replaced, $6K.
Mhm.
I believe I did ask her if it's moving ready. I think she said yes. I gotta call her back. I don't know why I didn't write that down.
No
Stumping
photos?
myself. No photos, but
Okay.
I told her I would follow up in 2
But
days.
the roof
She said
stood
that's
out for you, right? The roof needing repair stood out. And anything about leaks in the house? Anything about drywall sagging or any type of water damage or mold or anything? No.
No, I didn't get none of that.
Okay.
That's definitely
So we don't
a
know if the
learning
roof
point.
is leaking. It just needs to be replaced, right?
correct. But no remodels in the past 5 years to the kitchen or bathroom. That I do know.
Do you know when the last remodels were?
I don't.
So I typically will ask a seller, right, have you updated the bathrooms or the kitchen in the last 3 to 5 years? And their answer is no. Okay, wonderful. And when was the last time you did? Right, I would ask that extra question, right? Well, I've lived here since 1992 and we haven't updated anything, right? I mean, because again, if they say no, not in the last 3 to 5 years, but in 2016 we did, in 2016 we put in granite countertop or whatever it is, So I would just try to peel that onion a little bit more, right? They're not being defensive. They're answering your question. Just maybe ask an extra one, you know?
Sure. Yeah, that definitely opens my eyes up to make sure I
Right?
get
They
those
say, I understand new roof needs to be replaced. Why? Right? Do the shingles not match the paint? That, you know, you painted the exterior and you got a brown roof on a gray house, and why? Is it leaking? You just not like it? Or is it, you know, at its 20-year mark and, you know, it's just time for a new roof, right? You know, that's all. Because
Gotcha.
you could try to use that $6,000 as leverage for you here. And, you know, at the end of the day, if it really doesn't need to be replaced, or maybe it just needs to be patched in a certain area, I mean, that could be your profit margin right there on a deal like this, you know?
Wait, say that last part again. What could be the last profit margin?
Your profit margin, if you really don't need a full replacement on the roof, right? You know, if she's taking it a $6,000 value for a replacement, but, you know, really it's got a leak in one place because there was a shingle, you know, there's a nail or something wrong with the shingle, then could be a real quick, you know, $300 fix, and now you have $5,700 of margin that, you know, don't need to give up. So, yeah, I would try to just dig a little bit deeper on that pane, right? That roof, right? Is it leaking, right? Do you need to sell right now? Because the last time it rained, you know, all your clothes got wet, you know? Maybe they're tied into each other. I don't know, right? But again, just try to dig a little bit more. It sounds like she's receptive. Sounds like she's motivated, you know, just take off the investor hat and, you know, put on the, you know, I'm your neighbor hat, you know, just talk to her, you know, and try to help you out here with the situation, you know, don't worry.
Gosh. That neighbor, okay.
You know, I might ask some other questions too, you know, have you gotten any other offers, you know? Is there a reason you haven't sold yet already? Right. So College Street, we'll jump over there. What did you say was going on? She wanted a 14, 30-day sale.
She would love to close in 14 to 30 days. She's totally open for it. Okay. Asked her, does that time frame work for you? She said yes.
Okay.
And then I know it does say it's a 4-bedroom, 1 bath, but this woman for the second property, she did say technically it's a 3-bedroom and one of those rooms should be turned into a bathroom, because it's that room that's considered a bedroom is way too small, she said.
Does it have a closet? Does it have a window?
I did not ask that. I will write that down now. Does it have
what does it take for me to turn this room into a real bedroom?
Gotcha.
All right. You have any pictures on this one?
This one I don't. I told her I'd follow up in a couple days as well. Let's see, do I got any notes for this one?
You got a few flips over here. You got 4 of them. What was the price point on this one that they're looking for?
What I did is, because she's an attorney, she was kind of a hard case. So I kind of had to get into that I'm your neighbor mode. She seemed like, yeah, her pain point was she doesn't want to sell with an agent because a couple agents lied to her about how much commissions are going to be. She's a real estate attorney, so she seems like she has an attitude about this property, like she just wants it off her hands. So, where was I going with that? So the price.
Any extensive work on it? I mean, as a real estate attorney, someone that works with possibly investors all the time, she doesn't have a possible buyer. Is there any major rehab with the property?
It seemed like she didn't have any buyers.
Okay.
And the rehab.
Usually you'd want to network with a real estate attorney to, you know, connect with her group. So that's interesting. But I don't know what type of real estate attorney she is, I guess. I mean, But okay.
She was really
Um,
busy, little scary if
Just
I'm being honest.
Also a cold call, right, or a pay per click?
Cold call.
Cold call, okay. What made you
Um,
decide to cold call these areas, or where I guess did this list come from, as opposed to a Colorado
Ye-
Springs, or, you know, maybe a market that's a little warmer?
I pulled a massive Denver. I pulled a massive Colorado vacant list, and
Mhm.
not only did it have major areas in the Denver and Denver metro, but it also had, this
Sure.
city, Rocky Ford. It had some outskirts.
Okay.
But what I did with her is I took the Zillow price. I watched Brent Daniels sometimes, and I straight up she wanted me to straight up give her the answer. I was like, okay. Took the Zillow price, times it by 66%, and gave her that price. And she might be open to that 66% of the Zillow price, but I
She
told her
didn't
that's just
hang up on you.
ballpark. Nope. She said that's actually
And she would have. This sounds like the type of woman that would have hung up on you if she was offended, right?
seriously, yeah, she was has an attitude about this property.
All right.
So she made me nervous. She made me nervous for sure. Yeah, I let her know even at the end of the conversation. I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Agents have lied to you. Investors are not around you for some reason. They're also not." She said something about investors. I can't remember, but I was like, regardless, if I can't help you, I'll try to bring you some investors I can. I'll try to help you sell it
Right,
regardless.
Sure. Don't give me a fight. Don't give me a black eye for a fight I wasn't in. I tell people when this person did this to me and this person did that to me, and they're defensive.
Mhm.
They have every right, but you got to kind of address it, right? So they don't keep bringing that up. You want them to look at you fairly and not jaded. Even if they are.
Yeah.
So your offer on this property was $87K.
Yep. It's 87, 88K.
Okay, so and after you ran a comp, or did you determine that was a number?
Yeah, I just had to throw it at her because she wasn't
I gotcha.
really. I felt like she wouldn't give me time to run.
Sure.
She was in the middle of the trial, she said. So I was really trying to be as fast as I could, but also let her know like I can be a benefit regardless to you.
179.
I even asked her that question. You ever considered with an agent? And that's when she's like, nope, they lied to me. I already talked to a couple agents in the area. It looks like there's just a few that work with people in this town, and looks like they try to strong arm because of that fact. Since it's a small town.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. That's why I was happy to see all those ones up there in Rocky Ford for you.
Yes.
I will still assume that they all know each other, right? They go to the same, REI meetings and stuff like that, but they may not have, personal level. So pictures we don't have on this one yet, right?
We do not yet. And how would you bring that out of a seller if they're already motivated? Would you just tell them straight up like, hey, I can get you a better offer price. We have pictures. Just that easy. Just tell them that.
No, I mean, it's not necessarily. You're not necessarily able to get her a better price if she has pictures, but just say, in order for this offer to be a real offer, I'm going to need pictures.
Okay.
Like in your contract, it would be contingent of that, right? They have to provide access to the property, things like that.
Okay. Yeah.
That should all be right in there. So I'll hang up with the I'll hang up with the person. Okay, great. Just to go over what we just did. 100. What did we say it was on here? What did you say her price was?
87, 88K. She was.
So say right, all right, just to recap, we agreed on $87,000. We're going to use such and such title company to close. We're going to do so. We're going to set a inspection period of 2 weeks. We're going to close within 30. I'll have EMD wired over, $2,500, right? So you're going to give her all these terms, right? And you're going to explain, I'm going to need pictures of the property, right? I'll get this offer out to you. Obviously I'll need photos of the property here before we send one of our people out there to do a walkthrough. But that's it, right? Once we get our photos, once we complete our walkthrough, we're gonna look to close, like I said, in the next 4 weeks. And I hope that time frame works for you. You know, and just close her off like that, you know?
Gotcha. If we have time, can I ask if this just needed an average rehab, what you would offer? If we knew that this needed an average rehab, do we have time to do that, to comp it,
Go ahead.
put in a
On an average rehab,
average
I
rehab?
really don't know enough about the neighborhood to really give you that dollar amount just yet. I mean, it looks like an average or maybe sub-average neighborhood. And what was the size on this? 1,000.
1,054
Does it need
square
kitchen
feet.
and bath, or it just needs updates? Updates or rehab, I guess I should say.
This is just guessing, like if it needed an average rehab, carpet pig, kitchen, bath.
So here, let me give you guys, let me drop a little something in here then to maybe help you out with that.
Sweet.
Let's see. I'm gonna jump off here after I share that with you. Let's see, where am I?
Excuse me.
Let's see if I can drag this into our chat. I don't think so. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. Here we go. I'll just share a link on this here. You guys can have this. This is just a little cheat sheet calculator. So if you're, on the go or something, again, don't use this as if it's the say all final. Again, different neighborhoods just are different. Material prices are different. Labor could be different. So you could use this as a rule of thumb. At least to have something. But again, don't make your final decision off this. All right. Use it as a tool or a guide, sure, but in some neighborhoods, it's just when you see it, you'll say, all right, in some neighborhoods it might not even make sense, right? But for the most part, it'll give you a good idea, and I think once you can see what the table looks like here, you'll understand why I'm saying it's a good guide, that you can adjust the numbers in a different market if needed. So let me just drop that here in the chat if I can find that. Everybody got that over there?
Yeah, I see it in the chat. If I were to tap on it, would it make me leave this chat room?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, maybe I can copy it. Yep. Awesome. Do you guys use these as ballparks in Utah and Colorado? Because I know Nathan told me once on a Zoom, Utah is like Colorado.
What was the question?
Do you guys use these for your Utah market
Sorry,
as
what
well?
did you say? Use what?
I dropped the document in there just to help them with pricing of potential rehab. So I think this question is, would these numbers work in Utah? This is my document. This isn't Sean's. I don't know if Sean's ever seen this before. Again, this is something I used 2 years ago, and it taught me again. It's just a guide, right? So you may need to change these numbers altogether. But just see how it's going. Like a light rehab at this size, right? It's going to cost X dollars. A light rehab at this size is going to cost this dollars. So that's what I'm trying to show you here, right? So when you say it's an average rehab at 1,000 square feet, right? Well, look where that would fall, right? As far as the price point,
Gosh.
right? It's not 1,500 square feet. It's not 2,500. It's 1,000. And you're saying it's not light, right? You see what light is considered, right? You're saying it's average, right? So average is more than light, right? Not just carpet and paint average, right? It's a little bit more. So when the seller says, yeah, just needs some updating, right? Like painting? Well, no, it needs carpet also. So carpet and paint? Okay, what about, countertop, right? Just keep naming stuff, right? We've owned the house since '92, but no, we never updated the bathrooms, no. Right, and you see the house was built in 1979, so, well, they're either 1979 or, they were updated once.
It's awesome.
Right, so again, that's just that document there is just a rule of thumb, and, don't use that and, hold this property to that, that number,
Yeah, I mean that's a good guide. And then also, I don't know, Scott, have you ever saved that Matt Strong calculator that we have? It's just like that repair one. But you've seen us use that, right? This one's good too.
No, I never heard of it.
If you click on this one, Scott, make a copy of it and save the copy. Obviously,
You gotta give me access.
Oh shoot, do I? Let me give you. I may have to.
Just resend the link, maybe.
Scott. Here, I'll show it to Scott. You can share it.
It's still locked.
Try again. Well, I may have emailed it to you, actually. Scott at Arrowhead. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean that's good for general like rule of thumb for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I've seen some people rehab a 1,500 square foot home and they put 100,000 or plus into it. So, I mean, with the cost of materials that have skyrocketed, I think that number has probably shifted in an upward direction. But Scott made that pretty clear that it's not an exact science. So
I got that exact document 2 years ago. Never been changed. So just think about prices since then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And even at that time of 2 years ago, it was the same thing, right? It wasn't for nationwide. It was for just a guide, right? So, just use it as a rule of thumb. That's all I'm trying to say.
So, yeah, we're overextended on time, which
I gotta jump, guys. This is great. I hope I was able to help a couple people out with making offers. If anyone needs to grab me or Sean further, that's awesome as well.
Yeah. So
Can Sean email me about this first property? Maybe.
Yeah. So
Sean, I think you jumped off the Zoom at the time.
Yeah, I was listening, and I heard you say about the one in that's smaller. I didn't pick up every detail.
Rocky Ford.
That's my email. If you want to shoot me an email and then we can connect. I'll give you my
For sure.
Yep. And then I'll take a look at it. See if you think we can move it. And then Zach, I know Zach. Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say even the second deal because these are out there for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw you jumped in earlier, and then I don't know if you had phone issues or what happened.
No, I work from home for State Farm, and it's just been non-stop people calling in. So I didn't want to disturb you guys.
No, I got you. So we do, and I know yesterday we pushed you away.
Yeah.
At the end of the call,
it's all right. It's
Can
cool.
you? We're doing this again in an hour and a half.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be the underwriting hour at that time, so we can look at your deal, or whatever questions you have. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's
We'll
fine.
get to you first that time. All right.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Zach. Cool. Yeah, Scott. shoot me a message. Everybody, great work.
All right, great to see everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott. Mr. Levine Machine, you'll be back in an hour and a half ish.
Sure. I'll see you then.
All right, see you. Bye.
Take care, guys.